Bonjour. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Hi, Katan. Hi, Anvisha. How are you doing? What's up? I hope Zeppelin, je vais bien aussi. Hum, je voulais savoir. Oui, ok. Alors, c'était comment votre semaine et c'était comment les 2 mois de 2026? Hmm? Wherein the we are at the end of the first 2 months. January has been extremely long and February is known for being short. How has it been so far? Tell me in the chat. No? Okay. I wanted to know how many of us are here and how many of us have sent me doubts for today. Also, the doubts that are there feels like everyone wants to cover. We take the whole French grammar in just one live session. We'll see what I do and how much I'm able to cover. C'était très fatigante. Mhm. For Jasmine, it has been a roller coaster. Pour moi, janvier, février, ça va. Janvier était long, oui. Mais février, ça va. Maintenant, j'ai des bons projets. Et oui, j'ai hâte de 2026. Allez-y. Okay. So it's about 20 of us, I guess, here. Let me know when you would want to start. I will be sharing my whole screen for today's live. So in case you see anything personal or financial, just close your eyes and tell me that yeah. Um yeah. So I'll just wait a couple more minutes before starting and would love to hear from the new joinees in the chat by discussing how our 2026 has been so far. Récemment, j'ai regardé Dhurandhar sur Netflix. C'est bon, mais je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de violence sans raison dans le film. Je sais pas si c'est... Oui, c'est l'exagération, bien sûr, mais c'est un peu beaucoup, un peu plus pour moi. Qu'est-ce que vous en pensez de film Dhurandhar? Vous l'avez aimé ou non? Ok, je pense que on peut commencer. Euh, okay, here are the doubts. Okay, the first doubt that we have is from our student. Uh, so these are the doubts that we're going to take today. Okay, I hope I can cover all of them in today's session. But just in case, we can have another session. Okay, these are the ones that we've selected. So one of them is saying, I keep getting confused with identifying the gender nouns. What's the core principle to separate them and how to deal with exceptions? Is there a list of around, let's say, 100 nouns as a part of exception list? So that's the first question. I hope the person who asked this doubt is here. I hope the person who has this doubt is here. If no, you will have to check in again. But before taking your doubt, someone is asking me, how did you start your friend journey? My journey was very, I mean, it was not, when I started learning, it was just for learning something. I basically learned French during the COVID time. I had my like A1, A2 already done when COVID started. And when COVID hit, I was extremely free because I had online classes from college at that time. So I was free and I learned and had, made a very good base, a good foundation of French language. I had never thought that I would use French professionally, yet here I am, and very thankful for that. Uh, yeah, so I guess we can say that it was for the love of language. Yeah. Allez, on va commencer for finding the genders of nouns. So there is this list. Yeah, there is this list, okay, which will give you most of the. Uh, can you see my screen? No, you cannot. Yeah, now you can. For the genders, this is the list which gives you. Yeah, it tells you the gender of nouns. This is a list which you can remember. There are no exceptions to this list. Okay. So looking at this list, you give me a few nouns from this list. Okay. You give me your list of feminine and masculine genders. I'll wait for your answers in the chat. Oh, Vimla, so you have mixed feelings about Dhurandhar? Yeah, me too. Lizzie, I have given you some examples already for femina, masculin. Give me more examples. Allez-y, je vous attends. Okay, let me give you something. Euh, document, féminin ou masculin? Okay, très bien, Paris. Document is masculin. Then we have purée. Purée de tomate, par exemple. Féminin, masculin. Jasmine, is this about purée? Okay, purée is femina. Okay, yes. Then what? Let's do cigarette. Féminin ou masculin? Allez-y. Femina. Très bien. So I hope you get it. This is a list. Très bien, Jasmine et Patty. I hope this is okay. Are we good with the gender of nouns? Do tell. I am looking for we in the chat. Yeah. Okay, Jasmine. Navpreet, yes. Ok, ça va. On passe à la deuxième question. Second question is under the topic of the okay. How to read French with accents? How each accent acts differently? How to know what accent to write? La la la. Okay, okay. Ça va. So we are going to discuss the accents now. The question is about accents, how they act differently. How to write. Okay. Let me show you the accents. Okay. These are our yeah. These are our five accents. Okay. Accent aigu, accent grave. Ooh, tell me. Uh, I gave you two accent aigu, accent grave. What are the other three? Who will tell me in the chat? I know I just showed them to you, but yes. We need more interaction. Tedia, oui, very good. Emma and circonflexe. Ok, très bien. Good, Vimla, Kathan, Shweta. Quand est-ce que tu apprends le français? Indian XYZ is asking me. Quand est-ce que tu apprends So, moi, j'ai appris la français, la langue française en 2020, 21, je pense, oui. Et maintenant, c'est 2026. Ok, ça va. On passe aux accents. So, accent aigu looks like this. Accent grave looks like this. Yeah, yeah. Accent circumflex looks like this. Tréma looks like this, like the two eyes. And CD is the this below C. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about how they affect the pronunciation or how they affect the spellings. But for now, we have discussed how they all look. Okay. Accent circumflex is also called chapeau. Okay, chapeau, like a hat. Ça va? Any doubts with their names and how they look? Doubt, like name, appearance. Are we okay with that? Wallpaper, acha hai. This is the original wallpaper. I don't have a habit of changing the default wallpapers, but yeah, I don't know. It was different previously. Maybe the update changed it. Didn't even notice. What is it? It's like a vacation. Okay, so yeah. Uh, need confirmation if we are okay with. Okay, thanks, buddy. Mm, so yeah, accent aigu has the A sound. Okay, I am going to explain it using Hindi. A single matra is this accent. Okay, अनेक वाला एक अनेक एक. Okay, accent grave is double matra a. Okay, anak. And yeah, so that's the difference between a and a. Okay, for a we have école, but for this one we have élève, el, and mère. Okay, père. Ça va? So major doubt from what I understand from the students, major doubt is between these two accents. Okay, बाकी सब आ जाते हैं. Like these two are used very less. This is somewhere in between. Accent circumflex does not affect the pronunciation. Okay, we just put it because, like in old days, we used to put an S in place of this accent, but now it's removed. So yeah, accent tréma we use when two vowels are together, but both the vowels have to be pronounced differently. Okay, so for example, look here, naive and Noel. Okay, so for naive, we are saying A and E separately. That's why the accent tréma and CD is for making the k sound to the s sound. Okay, so if the CD was not here for garçon, we would have said garcon. But because we put the CD, we have to say the s. Okay, so I don't think there should be any confusion between these. There is confusion between these, but you get the it comes with habit, first of all. Second, you have to remember the spellings. Okay, it's like in Hindi and English. We don't find this problem in English because we don't have accents in English. But treat these accents as parts of the spelling. Okay, if there are no accents, then there are reduction of marks for exam purpose. But yeah, it is it without accent is a spelling mistake. So you have to do that for pronunciation. It I for me it came naturally, and I think for most learners it comes naturally for pronunciation as well. You don't have to. Um, I would say that don't try to focus on one very small thing. Focus on the bigger parts. Okay, so if you know école, like it is école. So you say either you'll say école if, like, for example, if I don't know how this accent is, I will say école, école, like whatever. There could be some pronunciations that you could think of, but go with the flow, I would say. Okay, because that's how languages are. Yes, there are right and wrong things, but feel the language, okay? And yeah, I think you know this, okay? Now, élève, for example, there are two different accents, but I know how to say élève because even if there were no accents, I would have said élève, okay? So, yeah, give me in the chat a few words with accents, okay? Accent aigu, grave, circonflexe, tréma, sédé. Whichever you prefer, send me a few words in the chat with accents. And tell me if you have doubts. Kathan, you have put a wrong accent in tre. Tre. Well, tre has accent grave. Tre is written like this. Tre. Tre. Santé, garçon. Garçon, we already have. Café, télévision. You know what my favorite accent is? My favorite accent is accent tréma. I don't know, I just like it because I guess I get to say both the vowels together, that's why. Leçon, yes. Okay, good. Any doubts so far? Aimer. Aimer, pratibha, good. It's the participe passé of the verb aimer. Give me a oui in the chat if there are no doubts. Oui. Okay, Navpreet. Merci beaucoup. I hope the session is okay so far. Let me know if there are any requests or yeah, whatever. Okay, so this one is done. Okay. Être and our conjunction classification questions. So, this was not very clear to me as to what I have to cover. So, what I understood, I'll tell you what I understood. I understood that être and our conjugation is not a problem. Where to use être, where to use our, that is the problem. And I also understood that you don't understand, like, we have some idiomatic expressions like je suis fier and etc. etc. So you have a doubt with that. That is what I understood. Uh, I don't know whose doubt it is, but tell me if that's correct. If not, I mean, that is what I'm going to tell you. I will, I have made a list of, I'm sending the document link in the chat. Uh, I will be sharing this document on my screen. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So these are some expressions that we have made for être and avoir, être contente, être triste, être malade, être libre, and some expressions with avoir soif, avoir faim, avoir peur, avoir chaud. So now what is, so these are fixed, okay? You have to remember them. There is no uh, trick that I could tell you to to know. But to know where to put être and where to put avoir, that comes with the usage of the verb. Okay. Mm, so être means to be, avoir means to have. Okay. So avoir is for possession. When it's just normal fill in the blanks. Okay, not about this list. When it is for, mm, for example, j'ai un chien or je suis un chien. Okay. J'ai un chien and je suis un chien. Okay, both these sentences are correct grammatically. Now depends on what you want to say. Okay, so j'ai un chien uh is the possession of the chien, and je suis un chien is being a chien. Okay, so that's that. I hope this, this distinction of être and avoir, I hope this is clear. Yeah, tell me if this is good. This is it. Tell me for être and avoir, are there any doubts? So the link I have shared in the chat, you can access that. If it's a closed thing, you can ask permission and it will be granted. Okay, Navpreet and Jasmine are okay with it. So I have a question for Jasmine or Jasmine. I don't know if it's Jasmine or Jasmine, so please clarify. Okay, we will be looking at the next doubt. Yeah, okay. The next doubt is related to the gerondif. Okay, we are going to look at gerondif a little in detail. No, like a little more in detail than this, but not too much, okay? Because we have a lot to cover, and I'm sure we have done this in class. I will be going over it, but if the doubt is bigger than the like what we cover here, I will be available to discuss apart from the doubt session. And I also would request you to go back to your classroom, and look at the recording. And you are free to take a screenshot of this because this helps me a lot. So, gerondif, Jasmine, I still don't know if you are Jasmine or Jasmine. Waiting, huh? Okay. Gerondif is used when we have two simultaneous actions. We know that? We? No? Okay. Give me a few examples of two simultaneous actions. Okay. Well, so I was waiting for you. Thank you, Jasmine. It's like Jasmine. I like that. Love it. Perfect. Thank you so much. Uh, yeah, simultaneous action. So I was waiting for you while drinking tea. Okay. Je vous attendais en buvant du thé. Okay. So that is a gerundif. Uh, okay. This is the structure of a gerundif. Okay. We use en plus the participle present. Now we already have used the participe passé for passé composé, but participe présent is different. We make the participe présent with the base of the verb with nu plus a and t. So I will be giving you an example for this. Let's just say, let's just take the verb parler. So to make, we need our participe présent. Okay, participe présent is with the base of verb avec nous. So how do we say parler with nous? Who will tell me? Nous. Ok, très bien, Jasmine. Nous avons appris français en regardant des films. Very good sentence. Allez, how do we say nous? I mean, how do we say parler with nous? Dites-moi. No, Navpreet. Nous, present tense conjugation. OK? Présent de l'indicatif. Jasmine, we are talking about présent de l'indicatif, present tense. Nous, we know this. Come on. We in the last slide itself, we did the verb conjugations. We cannot be doing this. Très bien, Pratibha, nous parlons. Okay, that is how we do the conjugation for nous. Okay. So, participe présent, we take the base of the verb avec nous. Okay, so in parlons, we have parlons now. Okay, how would you divide it in the base and the suffix? How would you do that? We need two parts. Allez-y, tell me. Très bien, Navpreet, we say parle plus un. So, which is our base here and which is the suffix? Très bien, Shweta. Parle is our base, and we got this part. Now we have to add the ant. Gives us parlons. So that is our participe présent. Okay, that is what we got. Participe présent. Now to make it gerundive, we have to add ent. Okay. So I'll write a sentence with. Can we have a sentence with parler gerundive in the chat? Any? Okay, we just learned parler, but it will be different for other verbs. For IR verbs, we'll have SS. Okay, for example, grandir will be en grandissant because nous grandissons is the thing. Elle marche en parlant au téléphone. Ok, très bien, Jasmine. J'ai préparé le dîner en parlant à Marie. Ok, ça va? I hope this is clear. Whosoever's doubt this was. Okay, for IR and irregular verbs, you might have to remember. Okay. Ça va? Is this okay? Gerondis, clear? Dites-moi si Gerondis vous pose des problèmes toujours ou non. Allez-y. Give me a oui in the chat or a no if you don't, if you are not satisfied. Oui. Okay. Ça va. Uh, we will go to the next doubt, which is I'm just yeah. I want to understand passé composé versus imparfait as it's confusing. Sentence formation structure, as I know words, but I don't understand how to put it in sentences. Okay, so we will look at passé composé versus imparfait. Okay, who'll tell me how to work with passé composé? We have what we have auxiliary verbs for passé composé. What are our auxiliary verbs? We'll just quickly go through passé composé and imparfait. So, what are our auxiliary verbs? Être and avoir. Very good, Jasmine. Now we use être and avoir as passé composé is our composed tense. We use the present tense of être and avoir to be conjugated with the subject in the present tense, and we add the participe passé. Okay. Everyone knows how to select which auxiliary être or avoir. We know that. Good, Kathan. So I will give you fill in the blanks. You tell me which auxiliary, okay? For this one, tu dash travailler hier. Être or avoir auxiliary, which one? Tu as travaillé hier. Very good, Paris. Avoir, yes, Cotton. Yes, Shweta. Très bien. I'll give you another. Tu dash aller au travail. Oui, ok, très bien, Shweta. I- Good. So here we have the avoir and here we have the être. So we know where to use avoir, where to use être. Is that okay? And the participe passé for er, yeah, for the er, for the er we put the accent aigu. For the ir verbs to make the participe passé, we remove the ir and just add the I. And for re there is you, but there are exceptions always in all the verbs. There might be exceptions, so just take care of how you're making the participe passé. And I hope there are no doubts as such with with passé composé. Tell me if there are doubts with passé composé. If no, we'll quickly go to imperfect. Oui, no. Oh, so Navpreet, was this your doubt? In English, we write a sentence like I don't like crowded places. In French, why is it like je n'aime pas les endroits bondés? Adjective is after. Okay, why is the adjective after? Is that your doubt? So in French, I'll tell you, we have the bangs adjectives. I don't know where it is. So in English, the placement of adjectives is different as compared to French. So we are not comparing adjectives for English and French. That is one. We are not going to translate a lot of things. There are bangs adjectives. Bangs is a short form for five types of adjectives, which are before the noun. 90% of our adjectives are after. Okay, I am going to tell you. Uh, in the chat, I have put bangs. Bangs means beauty, age, number, goodness, and size. Okay, so these adjectives we put before, others after the noun. Okay, Savan of Preet. Okay. Any doubts with passé composé? Or Navpreet, just confirm if this doubt is okay for you. Okay. Merci beaucoup, Navpreet. Uh, yeah. And parfait. Very simple conjugations. We are just putting, like, this is how to conjugate. I'm not going to talk about the conjugation. The usage is for a description for the past and repeated action in the past. Now, the difference, I think the doubt is also related to this. Understand passé composé versus imparfait. Uh, yeah. So, imperfect is for things that you used to do. Okay, remember it like this. I know I'm using English to compare here, but I think that helps a lot of my students understand that some things that you used to do, which you have stopped doing. Okay, so when you were a kid, you used to go to school. Okay, but if I went to the school yesterday, I will use passé composé. Okay, so remember it like that. For habitual actions in the past, okay, you use imperfect and also description in the past. Okay, for example, in a lot of stories, you'll find il y avait un lion. Okay, or we say j'avais du temps. Okay, so that's a description for the past. And we use imperfect for the repeated action in the past. Now, how you can practice this? It is very important to practice this. Okay, you will not understand without practicing at all. I'm telling you, Malab, I can only give you what the difference between these two is, but unless you practice them yourself, you are not going to find the difference. You're not going to be comfortable with it. So go to the notes here. We have told this multiple times in our classes. Okay, we use the LMS notes. Uh, yeah, find your thing here. Oh yeah, I think it's this one, and do the activities here. Okay, finish the activities here. Do the quiz here. Only when you practice, you will be able to. Yeah, only when you practice, you will be able to you know do this. Just attending classes and asking doubts is not going to help you. The effort has to come from your end. Okay, when you practice, if you are done with this, ask your faculty. There are a lot of things. We are making more and more worksheets. Okay, so you have to practice. Okay, once you practice, you will start to understand what is the difference between passe composé and imparfait. When I remember when I was learning, I had a similar doubt as well. But I practiced on my own. Okay, I don't think like if a teacher is with you and if the teacher makes you do some fill in the blanks of être and of passe composé and imparfait, uh, like that's the same as you doing it yourself. So just do it yourself, ask doubts, but do it yourself. That's the first step. Okay. So yeah, that's passé composé and imparfait. The with it we have this also that I know words, but I don't understand how to put it in sentences. Now I don't think I can help you with that because the you have to practice for that. Okay, you have to try and make sentences because that is how we learn any language. As a child, as a baby, you don't know what a sentence is. Okay, you don't know what a spelling is, but you speak, and that is because you are trying to speak. Now, as adults, sometimes we forget that we have to try. We are not in the learning curve. Okay, like we don't know that we have to learn. So you have to put it in the sentences. You have to make mistakes in order to be correct. Okay, I'm sure like there are teachers who will correct you, but you have to speak in class for that. I don't know if you attend classes regularly or not. Uh, and if you do, I don't know if you are active in class or not for this. Okay. So, yeah. Uh, I hope you understand this. Let me know if there are any problems still here. Dites-moi. Passé composé versus imparfait. Are we clear with that? Tell me in the chat if you're okay. I would like to move on to the next topic. Très bien. Merci. Merci, Navpreet and Jasmine. Our next doubt is that someone is having difficulties with words like should, would, couldn't, shouldn't. One thing is that we are not going to compare English and French all the time. Okay. Remember uh, that should is an English word and it does not exist in the French language. Having said that, I think that this is the part of the conditional doubt, like this doubt is pertaining to the conditional topic. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do next. Conditional is not a tense, it's a mood. Okay. We used it to talk about our wishes, some possibilities, and we talk about the future in the past. Okay, in our C clauses we use, and it is also polite. Okay, so that is the use of the conditional. There are specific, not specific, like all the verbs can be conjugated for the conditional mood, and that's how we do it. Okay, these are our endings. Okay, and could, would, should are which verb? Can anyone tell me what is the base verb for could, would, and should in the chat? Oui, allez-y, dites-moi. Yes, we use the future stem. Très bien. Add imperfect ending to the future stem. Yes. My question was a little different, Shweta. I'm asking for could, would, should. What are the verbs that we will be conjugating in the conditional mood? Très bien, Joplin. Pouvoir, vouloir, and devoir. Okay, so pouvoir is for could. We say, pourriez-vous m'en donner un café, s'il vous plaît? Ok, pourriez-vous parler un peu haute, s'il vous plaît? Ok, vouloir, vous voudrez, voudrez-vous, voudras-tu m'aider, s'il te plaît? Yeah, je voudrais un café, s'il vous plaît. And the devoir becomes devrait, ok? Vous devrez passer les examens de DELF, for example. Okay, so that's your could, would, should, and just negate it for shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't. Okay, vous ne devrez pas. Simple. Ça va? Any doubts for could, would, should? I hope whoever's this doubt was is present in this and are clearing your doubts. Okay, we'll look at the next one. Next doubt. Okay, I will just. J'ai envie de vivre de la vie d'artiste ou j'ai envie de vivre d'une vie d'artiste ou j'ai envie de vivre la vie d'artiste. What is the difference and how to avoid this confusion? Okay. Yes, after envie, it's always de, it's envie de faire quelque chose. So you are confused where to put the basically is what I'm understanding. Yes. So I'll tell you, j'ai envie de vivre. Yes, j'en ai. But yeah, there are structures where we are using the at all times. But when you say j'ai envie de vivre la vie de la vie, j'ai envie de vivre de la vie. So here, de la is your article partitive. Okay, it's not just another preposition. It's your article partitive. Okay, so we say je mange du pain, je bois du lait et j'aime de la fromage. So it's article partitive and we are talking about some part of it. Okay, so here you won't be putting de la vie because that's a part. Okay, and we do not want to say that it's the whole life. D'accord? So, for example, j'ai envie de manger une pizza. J'ai envie de manger de la pizza. Okay, both of them are correct, but the meaning changes a little. Sava, I hope this doubt is clear. Whose doubt was it? Please tell me. Yeah, ça va? Merci, Jasmine. Okay, we are going to the next doubt is about the subjunctive. Okay, I would be going over this, but just to mention, we have done this topic previously on the live itself. I would like you to go through that Also, go back to your class notes. Okay. Okay. So, are you seeing my screen? Yes, you. Okay. So, why are we using the subjunctive? Who will tell me? So, we use the subjunctive. Yes, Jasmine. But when we talk about desires and wishes, okay. When there are obligations, when we have opinions and incertitudes. Okay. One of these days, I was talking to someone and they gave me like an acronym for the situations where we use the subjunctive. I forgot what it was, but that was helpful to remember. If someone knows this, you can put it in the chat. If no, like this is it. You remember this. Okay. Two conditions. There has to be co, and for like basic sentence there have to be two subjects, but many times we don't have two subjects also. Okay, like bien que or malgré que, but yes, there has to be a que. Okay, that is needed. The conjugation, it is somewhat similar to what we did for gerundive. Okay, we are taking the radical plus terminaison. Okay, these are the terminaisons. And radical we find with this. Okay, it's the troisième personne du pluriel du présent de l'indicatif. Okay, so for example, let's take the verb finir. For example, okay, how do we say troisième personne pluriel is which subject? Who will tell me? Troisième personne pluriel. Ok. Troisième personne plurielle, oui, c'est il. Okay, that's your troisième personne plurielle. So how do you conjugate il or elle? With finir. We say il, elle, finissent. Okay, so that the radical that you find from here, okay, which is the this part. So this is your radical for the subjunctive, and the terminaison is this. Okay, so how do we conjugate finir? Okay, que tu finisses. Okay, that's how we do the subjunctive. Ça va? C'est clair? Oui. Any doubt for subjunctive? Okay. Merci beaucoup, Jasmine. Okay. We'll do. So we went briefly over the topic. I hope that was okay. Okay. So now the question is I have trouble remembering the conjugation for all the tenses or the correct way to structure it. I know that the correct formation is subject plus verb plus object. Some other have co, etc. But if there are more than two verbs or COD, I get confused. Okay. So it seems to me that here the problem is practice. Okay. Because yeah, if you conjugation ke liye, that is the only thing that I say for conjugation all the time, that you have to write and practice. Okay, you cannot remember the conjugation unless you write them down and practice it well. Okay, so you have to practice for this. You if you do not practice and if you keep saying that I don't know how this works, I don't know how that works, then it's not going to help you. Okay, even if you have the doubt session. Okay. Coming to the sentence structures. Okay. Most sentences are built like that in most languages. Okay. Subject, verb, and the rest of the sentence. Okay. Subject for, let's say, English, I say, I go to the school. I is the subject, go is yeah is my verb, and to the school is the rest of the sentence. Okay, for French, je mange une pomme. Je is the subject, mange is my verb, and une pomme is my object. Okay, when there are two or even three verbs, only for the first one we are conjugating. Okay, like je vais manger une pomme. Okay, so I conjugated the way, like the aller, and manger stays the same. Manger. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay, I hope the sentence structure for this, like first verb we conjugate, the others we don't. I hope that is clear. Yeah. When you see ko, okay, it just introduces another clause. Okay. Uh, and what follows is a normal sentence. Okay. Just for example, I say, je pense qu'elle est belle. Okay. Je pense qu'elle est belle. Or, je pense que Marie est belle, for example. So, je pense que je, me, like the subject, pense is my verb. Que Marie est belle is your other part of the sentence, but after que Marie est belle is another clause itself. Okay, je pense que Marie est belle. It's still, if you look at it, it still follows the same format. Okay, subject, verb plus object or the rest of the sentence format. Okay, so this shouldn't be a major problem. Okay, now talking about COD and COI. Uh, when the object is a noun, it stays after the verb. Okay, object is a noun, it stays after the verb. Okay, for example, je mange une pomme. Okay, it stays after the verb. Sava, the object, pomme is after the verb. But when it becomes a pronoun like a COD, okay, je la mange, we say, je la mange. It moves before the conjugated verb. Okay, je mange une pomme. Une pomme is our object, which we can turn it into pronoun COD. It comes before the verb. Je la mange. Okay. A simple rule to remember that is the pronoun comes before the verb. Okay, before the conjugated verb. When there are two pronouns, for example, there is COI and COD both, then the COD is before the COI. Okay, just remember it like this: D is before I in the alphabet, so COD is before the COI. Okay, Saga, are we clear on this? Oui, non. Give me an indication if to all of you are here. Ok, très bien. Merci. So yeah, which I'm not sure if you're able to see my screen. Yes, you are. Okay. Okay, this brings me to merci Jasmine aussi. This brings me to our last doubt of the session. Main issue is in accents and pronunciation. Okay. So accents we just did. We just covered the accents. Pronunciations come when you are speaking. Okay. So you have to speak in class. There are a lot of things we do. We once did live with you talking as well. So we could do that again if you want. Uh, but yeah, you have to only practice for speaking, pronunciation practice. You, if you are writing and doing the pronunciation practice, it is not helping you. Okay. Sometimes the problem comes that I want to speak, but I don't know if I'm speaking correctly or not. That is a real problem. And that's why you are with us. Okay. You take help of our teachers. Okay. You discuss, if you're in group classes, it's good as well, because that's the good thing about groups, that we are together in the same boat, so we can help each other out. Okay. So yeah, uh, I think that was all from me about the doubts. Let me know if there are more doubts, and if you want me to cover anything else. There was one more doubt related to active and passive voice. Let's look at that very quickly. It's very simple, okay? It's the same active and passive that we do in English. Yes, Navpreet, I will do that right after this. So just look at this: an écrit une lettre. There is a subject and then there is a object, okay? And we just switch the places, okay? Une lettre est écrite par Anne. Okay, just one thing. We are using être here a lot. So whenever être is there, we are agreeing with number and gender. So remember, because it's une lettre, it's écrite. Okay. So yeah, that's that. For the present tense, we just did how it goes. For passé composé, remember, whenever we are changing the voice, the tense has to remain the same. Okay. If il a cassé le vase a été cassé par lui. Okay. Remember, we are using the être, so you have to conjugate être in passé composé. Okay. And this is very simple. The verb passive, very simple. Okay. And I will tell you about the time. Okay. Navpreet, we are looking at this. French time has 24-hour clock. Okay, we know this, right? French time is 24 hours. So, how do you say 11 p.m.? Navpreet, I'm talking to you, okay? How do we say 11 p.m.? Et 11 heures de nuit. Yes, not bad. But if it's 24 hours, in 24 hours, 11 p.m. is, it's a 24-hour clock. So it's 12 plus 12. So we have 23, okay? 11 p.m. is 1 heures. Okay? 11 heures de nuit, ça va aussi, but that's informal. Okay? In French, we say 1 heures for 11 p.m. Okay? Yes. 1 heures. Okay? That's how you say 11. Now, 11, matlab, ek basic thing is for the 11 5 p.m. You'll say 1 heures. Okay? 1 heures. So with this, matlab, this is the basic rule. Okay? With this, you can tell any time. Okay? Using this logic only. Okay? Tell me what is 8 8:45 p.m. Vas-y, Navpreet. 8 in 24 hours becomes 20h45. Très bien, Jasmine. Navpreet, do you get it? 20h45. Oui. So that's how, matlab, this is the basic thing. If you know this, then you know time. Okay. But just a few things. Half is called dummy. Okay. So 10:30 is 10 heures et demie. If it's in the morning or if it's in the night, it's 1 heures et demie. Okay. And un quart is quarter, like it's un quart, 15 minutes. A quarter is un quart. So 15h45 or 15h03. Okay. Just understand this. Okay. And you're good to go. Give this a quick read and tell me if you have doubts. And if no doubts, then write 8:45 p.m. using quarters. Oui, je vous attends. No, I tell you. Navpreet, are you understanding this? Are you here? 8:45 p.m. using quarters will be, yes, 1 of 10 on we already know. It will be 1 no answer in the chat. 1 et 3 quarts. Okay? It's 3 quarters. Okay? Hmm. Ça va. Okay, so that's your time. I hope you understand this. Tell me if you have any doubts now, Preet. Oui ou non? Ok, ça va. Ok. Uh, it's good. Thank you so much, Navpreet. I'm glad I was able to solve your doubt. Uh, yeah, so we are done for the day. All the doubts are cleared. Let me know if there are more doubts. We can take them up in the next session. We will be ending this session here. And I hope you keep on continuing, keep on practicing your French. Okay. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much for joining here. Et je vais vous voir la prochaine fois. À la prochaine. Allez, ciao, bonne journée, bonne nuit, bon week-end. Merci beaucoup.